good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Video 2. Very brief update. So when I was watching back on my last one, this isn't really about like anything that I've been doing, but I watched my last video because, well, I kind of like watching my videos. That's just been true whenever I make videos. And I realized I thought I was really good at talking. Like I thought I was like, oh, I'm very well spoken, so it's like the video should have a lot of talking. But when I was watching it back, I had a lot of awkward pauses where I was like trying to think, and dude, it made me realize like people who kind of talk to their camera, they definitely got some eloquent, speech in general. Like I'm trying to talk as quick as possible right now, and I don't think I'm doing the greatest. I got like coming up with jokes on the fly and everything like that, man. Ew, I don't think I could do it. But okay, so quick update, or maybe not so quick. I don't know. Um, it's been about let's see. It's been 3 days since I made the last video, which was technically day one of everything. Since then, I've still been going to the gym every day. Sometimes not like fully. I think yesterday I only went in the morning. I tried to deadlift, and could not do it. So I ended up going swimming later as like a workout, and I realized I'm horrible at swimming, and my cardio is shit. But like we're gonna work on it now that I know. Um, so then, in terms of the project that I was doing, I got the I was switching up the code to make sure that it could just run everything automatically. I got that done. I got the pre-processing step done, and here I'm trying to understand more about like the statistics aspect of this project, because like programming wise it's not that difficult, but like more so I think for any kind of like project that you do in coding at the very least, coding is free form, so you can just make whatever you want. If you want to make a website, you want to make like a drawing application, you want to make this machine learning pipeline, you got to understand just the subject that you're building. um, Coding itself as like like understanding is about understanding how computer works in terms of like, I mean, this is my guess, I'm no authority on this, but like from what I experience, understanding coding like data structures and algorithms and stuff like that is really understanding math and like how a computer works. So it's like memory allocation and what kind of processes are being ran whenever you decide to do something, and then being able to troubleshoot and debug when things go wrong. But like if you want to code anything else, like if you want to make an application, you have to understand the application. And in this case, I have to understand um, statistics, or in statistics in like some layman's terms, uh, because whenever you think of machine learning, you think of, well, you think like, oh, magic output. At least that's what I thought for the longest time. Like, oh, input, magic output. But no, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of probability theory, and like, generally speaking, it's statistics. You get like percentages and the best likely scenario, correlation values, normal values. I thought something that was really cool was I can't remember where, but a few days ago I realized that something that I was doing in here was very similar to a normal distribution, and the reason for that is just because of the fact that if you think about how it's supposed to work generally for random values, everything kind of becomes a random walk, in terms of like where things can get segmented off in bins. And I thought that was really cool whenever I saw it. I was like, oh my god, that's the random walk. That's the thing. That's like the scientist who was, he saw the distribution of heat, and then he was like, oh my god, what's happening? It's not even. The probability is not, oh my god. I can't remember where that was, where that epiphany exactly came from, but I'm trying to read more on statistics. Believe it or not, I actually went to my library today, and for the first time in forever, despite the fact that I have like a shit ton of books in my room, I don't actually read. They're almost like performative, but we're changing that. We're changing that now. This is something I feel like I've tried reading statistics textbooks. I just don't get it. Like a lot of the times I just don't, like it doesn't, like I can understand the math, but I'm like, who, like, the biggest thing is, like, how does this fundamentally tie into, like, life? Like, who was thinking, like, this works, but why? But why? Like, mutual information is something that I was learning earlier today. I learned it before in a data mining class. In fact, most AI related classes will teach you something about mutual information because it's about feature selection, where you're trying to select a feature based on its like how much information can you gain from this one feature itself. If you're given this one feature, how much information can you like take from it? So it's like the classification value that you're looking at. If you have a feature value, can you interpret the classification value from it, like the probability of that in some regards? It gives you a numerical value for it, but like understanding why it works, like where it derived from. There's like this whole distribution thing where you have like a general distribution and then you're comparing the different. That's what it was. That's what it was. I was learning about I think it was chi-square distribution, something like that, like chi-square, like the degrees of freedom and stuff like that, and understanding like um if it were to really be random, it should fit within like kind of a random walk distribution if you're given enough cases or enough scenarios. Or like if you were to treat it as random, then the distribution would look a certain way, and we know that through theory. So then what does the distribution actually look like compared to what the distribution of like a random walk is given the scenario? That's what it was. Oh, I'm so glad I got that on camera because I'm going to watch back and then remember that epiphany, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic even. But yeah, I got that done. I was working on feature selection with the mutual information stuff. I tried to get the correlation value thing to work, but I just couldn't. Like, I'm sure in theory it works, which is essentially I used mutual information to determine whether or not a feature could correlate to a classification column, if that makes any sense. And that gave me like pretty good outputs. But then what I realized was because I used, well, in the pre-processing, it will change any kind of like, if you have like categorizations and then you define them as like 1, 2, 3, 4, the 1, 2, 3, 4 will kind of, it's not very good for a machine learning algorithm to derive from, because a machine learning algorithm will put more weight on like higher values. So what you really want is you want to like do a hot one encoding of each like categorical feature if it has more than one like category. So if it's more than a binary value, then you need to change it to a binary value. But this essentially made me have like a crap ton of like individual binary hot one encodings that were practically completely dependent on each other. I mean, their correlation should be like very high, realistically, because if one is 1, then the other ones have to be 0, and if another one is 1, then the other ones have to be 0. Like it's just a matter of principle, based on how the algorithm segmented them off. So I was thinking like, okay, I should just get whichever one has the most information gain and then get rid of the rest. But then I was like, I might be losing information because technically the information gain between all of them aren't similar anyways. So if I just rank it and then train the algorithm based on a k number of those features per time and just, you know, check the accuracy, then maybe we're good. Maybe we're fine. I don't know for certain. But that's what what I was working on when I stopped today. And I also checked out another book. I've always been a bit of a philosophy buff. Not a buff. I just want to be, I want to like LARP it. I want to like be good at it for the sake of like being able to tell people that I know philosophy. So I got this. Introduction to Aristotle. I will have no idea what I'm reading. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a fraud. I'm a fake. Somebody could bring it up in a conversation. I have no idea what he's talking about. And how I know I'm a fraud and a fake? This is Dante's Inferno. I know it doesn't have a cover or anything, but you can see it on the spine right there, Dante, right? I really tried to read this. I still don't understand it to this day. I couldn't get past like the first 10 pages. I didn't know what I was looking at. And trying to visualize it just, I don't know. He's like in front of I thought he was in front of like a sand wall at first, and he was like climbing up. But then I think it's a jungle, and then I'm like, okay, wait, the is that a woman there, or is that like a tiger or something? Like and how does he know it's a girl? You know, like I don't. In any case, that's what I did today, and yesterday, you know, it was mainly the. Well, yesterday I finished the pre-processing. Today I finished the feature selection. Tomorrow I'm gonna start with the modeling. I'm trying to like make sure I don't overwork myself every day too. It's gotta be a balance. And then I also started working on the animation stuff, which check this out. This is some like I got this sketchbook as a birthday gift. I wanted to use it immediately because I got it as a birthday gift. Check it out. This earthbending forms. I want to like try to animate like a fight scene because I really love fight scenes because I think it's just such a cool way to like capture a lot of motion. And I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good fight scene? This is the water bending. I want them to essentially like waterbender versus earthbender, and then if I finish it, you'll see it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have to update. I hope this video. I don't really care if it's entertaining. This is like for my sake, so that I have like something to look back on, in terms of my own progress. I don't know when I'm gonna read these. I'm gonna be so honest. I'm always gonna try to be as honest as possible whenever I'm talking here. I low-key think I'm just gonna borrow these and then like never touch them for like 2 weeks. They're due in like 2-3 weeks, and I'm like sitting here thinking to myself like I haven't read a book properly in like years. How the fuck am I gonna get started with this thick piece of shit? It's not a piece of shit. It's probably great literature, but you get what I mean. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I don't know if I'll keep feeling good. Maybe the next video update I do, I'll look like shit. But it's fun. It's fun. This has been fun.